Bill O'Reilly here. You are listening to the O'Reilly Update, sponsored by Tax Network USA, America's #1 choice for tax resolution. Please go to tnusa.com/bill or call 800-245-6000. Coming up next, the news with Mike Slater.
Thank you, Bill. It is Monday, July 29th, 2024. Here's what's happening today in America. Rockets in Lebanon. Park fire grows. Olympic blasphemy, and the highest grossing R-rated movie ever. That's all coming up. Then Bill's going to be here with your message of the day. But first, Hezbollah, a Lebanese terrorist group backed by Iran, launched a rocket into Israel, landed on a soccer field, killed 12 children. The Israeli Defense Forces and U.S. intelligence claim it was Hezbollah. They firmly deny that they were behind the attacks. Israeli warplanes conducted airstrikes against Hezbollah targets, quote, deep inside Lebanese territory. The Israeli defense minister said Hezbollah is responsible for this and they will pay the price. We will hit the enemy hard. The Park fire in California, more than 350,000 acres burned. A suspected arsonist pushed a flaming car into a gully on Wednesday. This is the largest wildfire in California since 2021, the Dixie Fire. So far, 66 structures have confirmed to be destroyed, and the fire is not contained yet. The suspect has been arrested. He pushed his mom's car into the gully. No idea if he wanted to start the fire or what in the world his motive was here, but he is an ex-con and also a registered sex offender. So this would be his third strike and is eligible for a life sentence. The Olympic opening ceremonies were on Friday night, and what opening ceremonies would be complete without a blasphemous display of the Last Supper with drag queens and a groomed child and a naked man painted in blue on a platter sitting in front of an obese Jesus woman? The artistic director said it was meant to celebrate diversity and unity. There was never an intention to show disrespect to any religious group. Deadpool and Wolverine. It's a movie, just came out this weekend. Highest grossing R-rated movie open ever. And the reason it's so successful is because it's not woke. $205 million at the box office here in America. That's the 8th biggest opening of all time, the highest opening for an R-rated movie. The 2024 box office, it's still 21% behind last year, 35% behind 2019, the last pre-pandemic year. Worldwide, though, this movie, this launch, $438 million. Olympic medal count after 2 days. Japan and Australia with 4 gold medals. America, France, South Korea, and China with 3. I'm Mike Slater, Bill O'Reilly with your message of the day. Next.
Time now for the O'Reilly Update message of the day. On this Monday, very few Americans really understand how the federal government works. But I'm here to tell you that deal making is the key to politics in the United States. Donald Trump was, in my opinion, successful in his first 4 years because he made pretty good deals economically that rose the real wages for working Americans, up about 7% under Trump. 4 years, that's substantial. And he kept inflation low. He did that by making deals with foreign countries, with corporations, deal. Okay, that's how he governs. So in our present situation, we had a number of deals made. So Joe Biden, the deal was, Joe, you get out or the Democratic Party is going to say bad things about you. That was basically breaking it all down. Okay. Then as soon as that was realized, and Jill Biden disappeared, by the way, when that deal was, because she knew she couldn't fight it. So Joe did what the Democrats normally do. As soon as that all happened, then you got Kamala. And that deal was in the works as well. So there you have it. We are a nation of deal makers, and we are on it to report to you each morning and afternoon. Now this. I'm Bill O'Reilly. I approve the message by writing it. You can reach me, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, name and town if you wish to opine. Now let's go to the mail. Jonathan, before we get 4 more years of Trump, what grade did he earn for his first term? We do not grade in confronting the presidents. We don't give grades. We don't rank. Okay. By the way, I wish I had $1 for every time you were right, O'Reilly. You would have a nice RA. But in Confronting the President, throw the book cover up there because it's coming up fast, September 10th. We want you to pre-order on BillO'Reilly.com or Amazon, Barnes & Noble, any of them. We don't rate them because the reporting, and this book is very well reported, is about whether they hurt or helped the country. Some of them did both. And I didn't want to get into the ranking game. All right? Now, I do say James Buchanan was the worst president and Biden's the second worst. And I back it up. And I do say Lincoln's the best. And I back it up. But the others, it's an ebb and it's a flow. Because I want to let you guys decide. Alan White, New Braunfels, Texas, in the Hill Country. Bill, you called it correctly on Biden leaving the race, Harris becoming the likely candidate, and Cheadle resigning a Secret Service job. Do you ever get tired of winning? No, I don't. A lot better than losing. Even when I played sports, I always won. I'm compelled. When I took over Fox News in 1996, Larry King was the highest rated cable person. I told my staff day one, this guy's going down. We're taking him out. Not literally, we're going to beat him in the ratings. My staff, I could see them, they going, oh, yeah. Half of them didn't even know who I was. Okay? Ferociously competitive right here. In a moment, something you might not know. Now the O'Reilly Update brings you something you might not know. In 1975, Congress voted to restore U.S. citizenship to the general of the Confederate Army during the Civil War. Though the leader of an armed rebellion, the man had become an enduring icon for some Americans. Here is the story of Robert E. Lee. Born 1807 in rural Virginia, Lee's father was a hero of the American Revolution, but then the guy left the family, moved to the West Indies, so Robert had to work to keep his family out of poverty as a young boy. In 1825, Lee entered the U.S. Military Academy, graduated second in his class. 10 years later, he married his wife Mary, the great-granddaughter of Martha Washington. Robert E. Lee first saw combat in the Mexican-American War. At the onset of the Civil War, President Lincoln offered Lee command of the U.S. Army, but Lee declined. He wanted to fight for his home state, Virginia. Lee resigned from the Union military on April 20th, 1861, assuming command of the rebel forces. He surrendered to General U.S. Grant at Appomattox Courthouse 4 years later. After the war, Robert E. Lee signed an oath of loyalty to the United States and petitioned to have his citizenship restored. His application was never processed by the Secretary of State, who kept the paperwork as a souvenir. In 1970, an archivist found Lee's long-lost oath. That discovery helped set in motion a 5-year effort to restore citizenship to the general who died in 1870. On July 22, 1975, Congress voted to officially restore Robert E. Lee's citizenship. On August 5th, President Gerald Ford signed the legislation. That event took place at the general's former mansion in Arlington, Virginia. His great-great-grandson, Robert E. Lee V, was in attendance. Said President Ford, quote, "The general's character for reconciliation after the war is an example to succeeding generations to which every American can take pride." Back after this. Thank you for listening to the O'Reilly Update. I am Bill O'Reilly. No spin, just facts, and always looking out for you.